College admissions process is different for each school in Alabama and in the Southeast, and important for parents and teens to understand just how to increase their chances for admission, and even more importantly, how to qualify for those all-important scholarships. And here to tell us more about all of that, publisher of Potential magazine, Pam Mashburn, is back with us, and we also have college recruiter Kristin Hulsey here with us as well. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
This is a crucial time, and we were just talking earlier about not waiting till the last minute.
Right.
You don't want to wait until the last minute, but you just had a great seminar, well attended. You had lots of folks show up, but you learned some things yourself.
I did. We had 5 colleges that attended for our Countdown to College series. It was on College Admissions 101. And 3 things I want to make sure all our WSFA readers and listeners and watchers are getting is that one of the things that we learned is 9th through 11th grade, it's on. That's critical. And so you're starting to apply the beginning of your 12th grade year. So those senior grades don't really, you can't wait on those grades. So, you know, if you have a child, like I have boys in 9th grade and they may not be as serious, we got to get them serious because they have 3 years to really show that they're ready for college.
Okay, they have to get them on track starting right then. Okay,
and then the other thing that I learned is that you have to find the right fit for your teenager, because at the 4-year universities, you get awarded scholarship money based on the 4 years. So let's say that you go to a school with a lot of students in it, and then they found out this is too big for me, I need to be somewhere else, and so they decide to transfer somewhere else. They lose that scholarship money and they're not eligible for scholarship for 4-year scholarships at another university.
So that would be a huge decision.
It's a big
to make. So you need to try to get it right the first time.
Right. And we're going to talk to Kristin more about that and how to find that right fit.
Right.
And then the other thing that I found when I was doing some research is that parents, it's important to not sit back and think that your child's got to make all these decisions. What we're finding is that in 2011 they found out that over 60% of parents were a part of that final decision-making process. And so parents, everybody is involved, and you have to go with what your child goes with. It is really a family decision.
Well, and especially if it's been a joint effort all along, why would you leave a decision like that, a huge decision, up to just your child to make? You should absolutely have a lot to say about that. Well, let's talk about finding that perfect fit. Kristin, again, this is a life-changing experience. This is going to the next level of their life. How important is it that they go and visit these schools instead of going by what they've heard or what they see online?
Right, I'd say the campus tour is the most important part. If there's somewhere that you're interested in, go visit. That's the most authentic experience that you can have. We can tell you something all day. An admissions counselor can come to your school or your college fair and say, this is great, and know these great statistics, but until you go see what it's really like there, there's no veil over that. You know, the students are authentic. They're going to classes. They don't care to give you a show. They're really there to go to class and get an education.
And are they going to keep it real when they get there? You as a college recruiter, I mean, if you're working for that college, aren't you just going to be able to just say, oh, it's rainbows and sunshine here, you should come here? Are you going to listen to that person and really give them advice?
Definitely. All of our campus tours are given by students, and the one thing that we say when we train them is, you know, a student's not going to remember that there's millions of books in your library or how many floors there are, where this computer lab is. They're going to remember what stories you tell them. Stories are so important. So tell them what you've experienced. What is your favorite place to go and hang out and study? And what's your favorite class and your favorite professor? So we encourage them to tell those stories because that is the honest truth that's coming straight from a student.
Well, I like that you mentioned talking to the student, hearing their stories. I was at orientation the other night at my son's high school, and one of the young ladies came up to me. I was talking to her mother, actually, so she came up to her mom, and I was just standing there, overheard her talking about, well, I didn't get this AP course or that AP course, and she was frantic, thinking, I'm not going to make it into college without these courses. How important are these advanced placement courses?
At AUM, we are only looking at a final high school GPA, so you can apply in the fall of your senior year. The application is available, and like you said, at that point, you really don't have grades available for your senior year. So we do look at the final GPA.
So it's not so much by the classes you take as the overall?
We just look at the final grade, but something I'll say about AP courses is not to deter the student from taking those, because they do help you a lot with preparation. When, you know, college is very different from high school, and a lot of students realize that very quickly their freshman year, as did I, getting into those English classes and feeling well prepared instead of frantic and scared about it. So they can help them them feel prepared, and I encourage students to find a balance. For some students, taking every single AP class would be completely doable. For others, finding a balance between taking a few AP classes and a few regular level classes are going to be the perfect balance.
Well, and AP is really designed so that you can earn college credit early.
Right.
But, you might not have a student that's ready for that, and it is important that they keep their GPA up.
Oh, absolutely.
But when they're getting into some of the scholarship pieces, they may start looking at some of that college or some of those college prep classes.
So beyond just college admission, when you're looking for scholarships, those AP courses might actually come into play then. Well, quickly, let's talk about scores versus ACT or SAT. Okay. How are they weighed against each other?
We take SAT and ACT. As most students know, they've probably heard more about the ACT. My big encouragement to students is don't take it just one time. Take it more than once. A lot of students take it that first time, they freak out, they're upset by their score, and they feel just so defeated. Take it again. I promise you'll do better. There's a lot of prep courses. We do several prep classes through our continuing education program, so students can do that. You can also look for help online, but there's a lot of things that they can do between that first time and the second time.
And if they're a public school student, the State Department of Education is providing special prep classes or online prep classes, so talk to your guidance counselor about finding the access code for your school to do that.
Sounds great. Well, this is what Potential Magazine looks like. Where can they find it?
Mostly at schools and doctor's offices, anywhere you're going to find parents and teens.
All right, and where can we find you online?
We're at potentialmagazine.com. If you want to be on our newsletter, Countdown to College, text 42828, the word potential. Again, 42828 potential.
All right, thanks so much.
Always so much.
Great to see you, Pam.
Great.
Thank you. Good advice there. We appreciate it. All right, stay with us, John.